What's up, Critique Crew? We are back and we are in full effect every Wednesday for What's Up Wednesday as we just vibe and catch up with each other and find out what's going on in your life and in my life too. And also on Sundays for our spiritual connection as we vibe spiritually so we can become our highest, best self together. I hope you guys are excited as I am, and I look forward to seeing you then. What's up, Critique Crew? It is I, Key, and welcome to Kiki's Critique. Over the next several weeks, we are deep diving into this new series that God has brought to my heart called From Rags to Riches. Rags to Riches is us growing stronger spiritually and not being ashamed of our former years, our start, our beginning, the trauma of our past, the shame of our past, but to take the things that we have gone through and to use those tools that we've learned to glorify God and allow Him to show up in our lives victoriously. I don't know about you, but the story that I want to tell over my life is that I slayed the giants. I showed up. I beat the enemy that tried to attack me and my family and my home. That I was a conqueror. I was more than a conqueror through Christ who lived in me. The story that I want to tell is that I fought all the Goliaths in my life and I came through the fiery furnace and I didn't smell like smoke. If you want that story, if that is the life that you are set up to live, and you already know if you are in that flow because you know where you started. I don't know about y'all, but my beginning wasn't that strong. And so this series is very important to my heart, and I pray that it blesses each and every one of you as we dive for the next several weeks in Rags to Riches. So get ready, y'all, because this stuff is about to be good.
In this mirror, I see tears, blood, sweat, fear that I ain't enough peers looking for the flaws here. Is it what was thought? Maybe they plotting on here and wishing death on me, but couldn't beat a Paul Bear. So they bearing witness. I'm a hand on my business, got my hand on this vision, a mission to make a difference. The kitchen ain't hot as I am in, and I do the dishes. Do it, I built the bridges that bring my fruit to fruition. Once I started, I finished. No matter how long I fall, the truth be said, I go. I know you probably don't really know me yet. Psycho inside, don't push it out. I built the bomb and I'm taking to put it down already. I didn't have preparation. Why you think I'm impatient? Instead of sitting here waiting to have my feet on the pavement, I'ma savor them days that you were gazed in amazement. Later remember the same conversation, cause we keep on grinding. And I'm saying that's no matter what life pitch batter up. We keep on thriving. If you started from the bottom, it don't matter cause you got it, oh yeah. We keep on climbing.
What's up, Critique Crew? Happy Sunday. Welcome back to our Rags to Riches series. This is our Spiritual Connection Sunday where we just connect spiritually. We discuss the Word. And today, y'all, I've been praying over this word for us today as we continue what we started last week when we were talking about the judgment of our come up. The judgment of our come up. I don't know about you, but as I am growing, as I am getting spiritually stronger, as I am learning how to make sound decisions over my life, that I'm finding that there's been some hateration that is coming my way. That hateration been hitting home, okay? So I know that I'm coming up, that I'm elevating, because when that hateration hits home, baby, you know that you are right exactly where where you're supposed to be. And our job and our position is to be in tune with what's going on. That's why the word is so important to me in my life, is because without God's word, without spending time with him and receiving, wise counsel, come on now, from the Lord through his word and through our spiritual connection, I wouldn't be able to stay right. We want to be right, stand and have a right heart before man, because this is God's child. And this is what we're going to be talking about today, is that we're all God's children. No matter what level we're at in our lives, no matter what we do in our lives, no matter how it works, we're all God's children. And I was thinking about the other day, I have 3 sons, okay? 2 of them are grown. And no matter what happens I have unconditional love for my children. And if they quarrel between them two, if my sons quarrel between them two, it doesn't change my love for my child just because you feel a certain type of way about my child. Come on now. Just because you mad at your brother don't mean that I'm mad at your brother. Just because you mad and you hurt don't mean that that's how I feel. I love my child, and I'm going to still be there for my child, and regardless of how you feel about your brother. Come on now, y'all parents out there, regardless of how y'all feel about each other, y'all both mine. Y'all all 3 mine. So I know that's how God is with us. That's why it's very important. Yes, that's why we can't judge each other. Okay, because you don't know what that other person is going through. Okay, and furthermore, you have to make, as long as we're making sound decisions and judgment over our own lives, then what somebody else is doing won't affect us so much. Come on, y'all. Ooh, we about to get deep today. So come on, let's get into this word, y'all, because we ain't got long. Okay, so Romans 14. Okay, as for the one, this is Paul speaking, okay? As for the one whose faith is weak, accept him into your fellowship, but not for the purpose of quarreling over his opinion. See, so Paul says, okay, let me just read through it, okay? Because y'all know I get started with this word, baby. Verse 2, one man's faith permits him to eat everything, while the weak believer eats only vegetables to avoid eating ritually unclean meat or something previously considered unclean. Verse 3, the one who eats everything is not to look down on the one who does not eat, and the one who does not eat must not criticize or pass judgment on the one who eats everything, for God has accepted him. Who are you to judge the servant of another? Before his own master he stands, approved or falls out of favor. And he who serves the master, the Lord, will stand, for the Lord is able to make him stand. One person regards one day as better or more important than the other, while another regards every day the same as any other. Let everyone be fully convinced, assured, satisfied in his own mind. He who observes the day observes it to the Lord. He who eats for the Lord, since for the Lord. Oh gosh, hold on, I'm sorry. Eats for the Lord, since he gives thanks to God, while he who abstains for the Lord and gives thanks to God. None of us live for himself, for his own benefit, but for the Lord. And none of us dies for himself, but for the Lord. If we live for the Lord. If we die for the Lord. So then whether we live or die, we are the Lord's. For Christ died and lived again for this reason, that he might be both the Lord, both Lord of the dead and the living. But why you criticize your brother, or you again, why you look down on your believing brother or regard him with contempt? For we will all stand before the judgment seat of God. who alone is judge. For it is written in Scripture, as I live, says the Lord, every knee shall bow to me and every tongue shall give praise to God. So then each of us will give an account to himself to God. Then let us not criticize one another anymore, but rather determine this, not to put an obstacle or a stumbling block or a source of contention in another believer's way. Yo, that right there is so powerful. That is so powerful, and it breaks things down to what we are talking about today. Is like we are all God's children, and we all have a life in a purpose in the way that we live our own lives individually. And the one thing that for me, like, me even sharing with you guys on our spiritual connection Sundays. I mean, like, I'm not a pastor. I'm not, a minister. And I'm not trying to, preach to no one about anything. I just share my heart. This is what I do for me. This is how I get through life. This is how I, this is how I live. And so I'm just sharing my life with you, just like I share every part of my life. I'm not a perfect person. I still drink wine. I still cuss sometimes. Come on, y'all. I mean, I still stumble and make mistakes, and nothing in my life is rosy and perfect, but I know that my heart is perfect before God, and I know that I want the best for every person. Like, I don't have no malice, no hatred, no contempt in my heart. I don't have no unforgiveness, no bitterness or resentment over my life. I don't have no regrets, because I know that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and to those called according to his purpose. So when you have a right heart before God, any opinions or any how you feel about me is a personal problem that you have to deal with, because I'm not out here trying to hurt anybody. So when hateration comes, when you can stand like that, when you can stand authentically and genuinely before God, then what can man do to us? What can another do to us? So the only judgment that we need to be having in our lives and is over our lives, and that is through a sound decision. Now, judgment, let's look at this definition. Judgment is the mental ability to understand something from an opinion and reach a decision. Okay? When you make a decision, a sound decision, when you make a decision about someone or something based on facts, conversation, empathizing, and consideration, you are making a sound decision, a judgment. You're making a judgment once you apply a sound decision. Because that's where it comes down to. That's what it boils down to. I mean, because see, the judgment is within yourself. The decision, the sound decision, is based on the facts, based on the information that we gather about someone else. So my sound judgment over myself is, I know the things that I just previously stated, that what my imperfections are, what my weaknesses are, who I am and whose I am, and how I am to show up in the world. And I show up in the world as me, Key. That's it. Okay, and that's all. And so understanding when I can rightfully judge myself, and the path that I've taken, when I look back on my footprints, okay, and in the life that I live, I can make a sound decision and a sound judgment over my life because of my experiences. No one out there can make a judgment over my life because you have not had my experiences. Come on, y'all. That's a word for somebody. Somebody's out there been getting beat up. So people have been judging you and criticizing you and how you live your life and the things that you do. They ain't lived your life. They can't nobody make a judgment about your life if they have not lived it. So, okay, now I prayed before we came in here, so that's why I'm on fire right now, because I just been in prayer. Now, doing our research, when I was researching judgment, because y'all, this was something that I really just wanted to break down and have an understanding, because I know that we have to make sound decisions when it comes to who we have in our life and who we don't have in our life. But what I'm finding out, when I judged another person and their ability to show up in my life, then I started to look at them and their behaviors. But when I start to judge my decision making or who I bring to my life, come on, when I start to judge my experiences and what I know about myself and who I am, then I'm able to make a sound decision out here. When I look in here and judge what's going on in my decision making, come on, y'all. When we look inside ourselves and start judging our decision making, how we live our lives, what we've done in the past, why we did what we did. Guys, I am dropping in and right in the middle of our video just to take a pause to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked our vibe. I hope you like the content that is going on over here. And because if this is your first time here, I hope you would consider becoming part of the Critique Crew family by liking, giving me that thumbs up. Okay, that's how you like. By commenting, typing something into that comment section so I can hear from you. Say new subscriber here. Let me know where you're from and give me some input, some feedback. And also subscribe, hit that notification bell so you will be notified every time a new video is uploaded. So that's all. Thank you for watching. We saying in order to make a decision about someone or something, okay, we have to have facts. We got to have a conversation. We have to have empathy, and we have to show consideration. Hi, baby. And we have to show consideration. I'm talking to the people. You say hi to the people? Hi. He just woke up. So we got to have facts, conversation, empathizing, and consideration. Judgment should be used on ourselves to allow us to make decisions that will improve our lives. To look at someone's life with the idea that you can live it better is damaging to your perception, to your own life. We do not have the ability to live another person's life. These are my notes, y'all. I want to make sure I get some down. Even in our outward judgment of someone's action, our inability to know their heart blinds us from seeing a full picture. Y'all, let's say that again. Our outward judgment of someone's actions we don't have the ability to see their hearts. So, and that blinds us from seeing the full picture, because we cannot see a person's heart, because we don't have the ability to see someone's heart. We don't have the ability to see the full picture. So we're only judging an outward situation. We're only judging a blemish. We're only judging a flash of something that is not even a complete story, because there's all these different barriers that go on in a situation. We don't have the ability to really do all of that. Okay, come on now. Even a person who is guilty of a crime, who did that thing, we don't have the ability to, we don't need to judge them. But what we need to do is make a sound decision on how we are to deal with that person based on, come on now, based on facts, a conversation, empathizing, and consideration. At the end of the day, yes, there is a law in the land that there's certain things that we can or should not do, because there are consequences for those actions. But when it comes down to the heart of the matter, the heart of a man, the soul and the spirit of a man, then we cannot judge that. That is the very core of who a person is, and that's not what we need to be judging. So by judging these little mediocre actions of another, it causes us to be discriminatory. Come on, we're discriminating. When we start passing judgments of actions of another, then we're discriminating. We now that's a personal issue. One of the things that I wanted us to talk about is how we can improve our judgment? How can we improve our judgment over ourselves so we can make sound decisions for our lives, for people, places, and things? Because that's where our sound decision making needs to come. We need to be able to judge our hearts, judge ourselves, right? So we can make sound decisions with people, places, and things, right? So, how do we improve our judgment? One of the first things that we need to do is we need to spend time on doing some calibrative training. Okay, that's one thing that I think is really important. And calibrative training means that you want to be able to judge, the decisions that you make, and how the decisions that you've made, how it play out. Like, so if you practice forecasting and saying, okay, you know what, based on what I've seen here, X, Y, and Z can happen. And when you and I forecast when it comes to my business. I forecast when it comes to goals and things that I'm setting for myself, or things that I want to do. I do a lot of forecasting because because I have the ability to judge where I come from, so I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I would do. So I love to forecast my future sometimes and say, okay, well, in 6 months I'm gonna have X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna forecast that this thing is going to happen, and that gives me an ability to see the things that I will do to make sure that thing happens. And for me to see that then allows me to make judgment calls on my life, knowing what my abilities are and what I don't have the ability to do. We have to develop a harmonic and positive mindset in order to improve our self judgment so we can make sound decisions. We have to stay peaceful in here, y'all. We have to keep harmony. We have to stay just in a flow and keep our energy flow. Stay plugged into God's word so that we can make right decisions. Come on now, and keep our harmonic. One of the things that we're going to talk about it later, but I'm going to show you some of the things that I do to keep some of my harmonic and positive mindsets, because I get that a lot. It's like, what do you do to stay positive? Like, I mean, the word is it right there, girl. Like, I can just tell you just that's it in itself. But there's other principles and practices I could say that help aid with the word that keeps me centered. And so I'm going to do a video on that and share some of the things that I do to keep my positive flow. Another thing is, you want to spend time around people who have good decision making skills. In order to improve your self judgment, you got to be around other people who make great decision making, who make good decisions and don't look down on you for your decisions, okay, over your own life. That's really key, is to just have good energies and good people around you. Also, I would say, is learn about whatever you're trying to make a good judgment over. Like, learn about these things. If you are in a place where you're making, you have to make decisions. Like for me, as I'm growing in my company, as I'm growing, I want to grow on YouTube. I got to make certain judgment calls on the content that I put out, on what is going to look like, what's going to do. And so I gotta research these things in order to make good decisions, to be able to show up for you guys. Then I have to do the research. I got to do the work. I have to make sure that I'm showing up prepared. And once I do that, then it's going to be what it's going to be. And the only thing that's left to do is to learn the lessons that comes from the decisions and from our personal judgment. So guys, that's it. Like, I mean, that was boom boom pow. And I even gave you some tips on how to improve your judgment. Come on, and for yourself, because remember, y'all, we shouldn't judge another. We try, But anytime we get ourselves in judging another, this is beyond what the law. I'm not talking about there's a law of the land in which we have to pass judge and rule. That's a rule. We have to pass ruling over the ability to abide by the laws of the land. But what I'm talking about is the judgment between humanity, someone else's decision makings over their lives. That we only do a personal. We only should personally judge ourselves, okay, so that we can make a sound decision over the people, the places, and the things in our lives. That's it, guys. So God bless you. I'm going to get this one fed to get him some waffles. You want waffles? Huh? You want waffles? Okay. I'm going to make it. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to get him waffles and put PJ Masks on. And until next time, guys.
Bye.
What's up, crew? I am so excited of this new season of all that God is doing in our lives over here at the Critique Crew family, Kiki's Critique. We have been working very hard at becoming our highest best self. And I believe like this is a season, this is a time that we press in, that we dig deeper, that we push ourselves harder and stronger than we ever have before. So we have some new segments coming up this season that I am so super excited about. Some is something that we're trying again, and others is something new and a whole new vibe and a good new energy as we are entering a whole new season in our lives. So just to kick it off, we have on Wednesday, we have What's Up Wednesday. Yes, what's up, y'all? Where we just come together and catch up with each other and find out what's up by catching up. And so we dive a little bit deeper and have some fun as we find out some things that's going on with me, and I definitely want to find out some things that's going on with you, so we could just share with each other the exciting new things that we are just taking our leap of faith into, right? Right, okay. And we also have on, of course, Sundays, our spiritual connections, and we're finishing up our Rags to Riches series. We're smack dead in the middle of the riches right now, and so let's finish strong with our Rags to Riches series. I hope that you are enjoying it, and I hope that it is literally taking you from rags to riches, okay? And then on December 4th, we kicking back off our Critiquing It Classy podcast live. I am so excited. We have great topics. It's a whole new energy, great new vibe, and so I'm looking forward to just being live with you guys and having an opportunity to just share in a way that we have not been able to share before. And so, guys, I hope that you are tuning in to Kiki's Critique. If this is your first time coming over here to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are vibing over here. We becoming our best selves. We are a family here, and we just hope that you're feeling right at home. There's nobody perfect over here. We are all inclusive, and we don't throw stones over here, okay? There's no judgment, because that's not even our swag, okay? We just here to learn from each other and become our highest best self in the process. So I'm looking forward to this new season with you all. And Vlogmas is going to be coming up too. So we're going to have 7 days of non-stop video fun, okay, just as we kicking off the holiday season. So stay tuned over here at Kiki's Critique. You don't want to miss the exciting new things that's coming up this season. God bless.